How to hobby. Well, no one can really tell you how to hobby, but why do we hobby? Maybe you playing a game, tabletop, war game, or a role-playing game, doesn't really matter. But maybe you just like pretty miniatures, and you want to see them painted. It's just like any other artistic expression. There's something out there without color to it, and you want to add to it. You can relax, feel like something you've accomplished. There's no wrong way to hobby. Just like there's no wrong way to tackle art. It's subjective. So you gotta ask yourself, what is hobbying for you? Why do you hobby? Why do you continue to hobby? And I think that's going to be a different answer for every person. For me, it started out initially as wanting to paint an army for 40K and to have a fully painted army that I could play with. And then became more interested and entertained by the hobby itself, by the characters and the setting and the lore, and that fueled into the hobby of both enjoying that lore and wanting to make cool miniatures. And then in the process of wanting to make cool miniatures, I learned how to hobby better. And you can see there's a difference. There's a growth. And I think learning only makes you better. And to learn, you learn why you're better. And hobbying helps you recognize your ability and your growth. Because you can look back at a miniature that you started, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. You can see where you were, what you said was good then. And then you can look at a miniature you just finished a week ago and say, wow, look at that. Well, look at that difference. Look at that change. Look at how much better I am. And there's this cathartic feeling of a goal conquered, of success. It's a positive feeling. Maybe that's why you hobby. Or maybe you just like the gaming aspect. To play a game. And you don't need to paint for that. Unless you're going to go to a competition, then maybe you do need to paint for that. But if you're just playing games with friends, throwing some dice, having some brews, you don't need to be well versed in the hobby. But you came into it one way, either by lore, by model, by paint, by fun. And that's where I am. Still learning how to hobby. Hobby better, I guess. And there is no set end result. You're only going to get better every time you try. You can learn new techniques, learn new abilities, but just like with all schooling, you don't need to pay for an education. You don't need to learn from someone telling you how to do it. You can help. Teach you something you didn't know, that you didn't find out through your own process, but the whole point is just to have fun doing something you like. Seeing progress on that. And that's what I am doing. Sometimes hobbying is at its best when you have friends. You get together a build night or a paint night, you throw on a movie everyone's seen 30, 40 times, or over a weekend, you just toss in the extended edition of Lord of the Rings for 12 hours. It takes that much time, I've timed it. You get a couple pizzas, you have a couple of second breakfasts, a couple afternoon teas, be like hobbitses, and you just build, you just paint, you have some fun, you build off of each other. Someone tells about their particular brand of Imperial Guard the 58/22 fence jumpers. They say they've built a model for everyone here that he'd like you to paint. Hell yeah, why wouldn't you? Tells the loose backstory of how the regiment comes together and how your model plays in it and what part of what squad you are and background and the world, and you can't help but be drawn into their contribution to the hobby and your contribution to his contribution, because you can help each other. You can build off of each other. You can build for each other. And you grow together. Grow closer. Maybe not. Maybe you never see them again. Who knows? But you have a fun night, hopefully. You paint something. You try something new. And you paint a model you weren't intending to paint. You're not an Imperial Guardsman. You don't play Astra Militarum. The Guard. But you got to paint a model. You got to kit bash one. You got to use paints you don't normally use. Colors you don't normally use. You got to do things you didn't normally do. Sometimes you can pass it along with other friends. Maybe they're just painting a dragon and they know that you like to paint. Ask to come over. Get super pissed off at Nikolai. But you have fun. Have fun doing whatever it is you're doing. Learning how to hobby. Learning how to have fun. And I think that's the most important thing. And that's what we really are learning. How to have fun.